Good morning. Hi, this is Travis from the National Weather Service, and this is your weather hazard briefing for Monday, June 3rd. We are going to be rainy and windy today with the system moving through. We have a chance of heavy rain for the western central mountains, mainly the Sawtooths and the Sun Valley region, particularly in the mountains. There's a chance of flooding. We have a flood watch out. I'll show you that in a second. Moderate rain across the eastern highlands, half an inch to an inch. The rainfall for the western central mountains and the Sun Valley region will be at 1 to 2 inches. Will be quite breezy to windy. We do have a wind advisory out for the Snake Plain, upper and lower Snake Plain, as well as the Arco Desert, and be much cooler than normal today as well. We will look for dry conditions as we go on to the rest of the week, Tuesday onward. Will be warming trend, but a little bit breezy still on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then pretty much hot by Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the 90s for a lot of lower elevations. Here's this atmospheric river system moving across us now. Precip is just hitting our western areas now, but you can see there's a good band of precip all the way back to Oregon, so it'll be raining pretty much all day today, ending by this early evening. Um, and then we do have quite a bit of wind with this. There's a kind of a dry slot back behind this, particularly on the water vapor you can't see, and so that will move across our area and just bring us windy conditions today, and then breezy Tuesday and Wednesday, and then there's high pressure ridging past that. So again, just a chance of thunderstorms this afternoon, pretty much all areas, more or less isolated. We're going to be windy across the Snake Plain, upper and lower Snake Plain, as well as Arco Desert, and then just breezy elsewhere. Maybe 20-25 elsewhere. As far as gusts, I'll show you those in a minute, and up to 40-45 in those yellow areas, particularly the Snake Plain and the Arco Desert and ridge tops. So we are looking for quite a bit of rainfall. Like I said, 1 to 2 inches in the Sawtooth area. Heavy rainfall, chance of flooding, particularly as we have snow melt up to 1 to 3 inches of snow water equivalent will melt of the high mountain snow melt, and then again, just combined with that 1 to 2 inches is going to be a good chance of just stream flooding and maybe even some rock sides and landslides in that Sawtooth area, as well as in the mountains in the Sun Valley region, not so much lower down, and then moderate rainfall elsewhere, like I said, up to the lower elevations, maybe a half an inch in the Sun Valley region, and then as far as the Eastern Highlands, we're looking about a half an inch to an inch up high in those mountains, and then up to a half an inch in the lower elevations, 10th to half an inch over all lower elevations across our area today. And then just breezy on Tuesday. Um, just looked at the models, perhaps breezy as well on Wednesday. I'll show you that in a second for some areas, and then warming up in the near 90s on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And here's the hazards we have out. We have a flood watch across our western areas, northwest areas for the Sun Valley region, mainly for the mountains, as well as the Sawtooth areas, and then a wind advisory out in the upper and lower Snake Plain, and then the Arco Desert, gust up to 40-45. High temperatures today, 8 to 12 degrees below normal. Quite cool as that system moves through today. And then quite breezy, you can see here, 40 to 50 in some areas. And then again, the upper and lower Snake Plain. Could see some blowing dust, but most of the crops are in, not that many unplowed fields, but there will be some pockets of blowing dust. And then you see the ridge tops are quite windy as well, particularly to our northern areas. Rainfall amounts, generally, like I said, 1 to 2 inches across our western slopes. It could be 3 inches just for the spine of the ridge tops across the extreme western edges of our area. And then again, just near 1 inch along this Galena Summit and Pioneers area. And then we have several areas here that could get up to 1 inch as far as across our eastern areas and even some of our southern mountaintops areas as that system moves through today. But in general, all areas will just get a tenth to quarter of an inch, and some of our lower areas across the southeast could get up to half an inch. We are in excessive rain outlook, again, for chance of flooding, and that's where we have those two flood watches mainly. This is the primary threat, will be for upslope flow in our western central mountains or sawtooths. And near Galena as well. Here's our high temperatures for Tuesday. They do warm up to near normal, slightly below normal, but there's quite a bit of warm up. Not looking for much of any precip as high pressure builds in Tuesday and Wednesday. Um, but we are still going to be quite breezy, right below the wind advisory levels of 40. May need a lake wind advisory for Tuesday afternoon for the American Falls Reservoir. And then as we go into Wednesday, we warm up above normal. Definitely dry at that point, and then we have a little bit of breezy conditions briefly on Wednesday afternoon. Thursday and Friday and Saturday, we're not looking for too much wind, just localized breezy winds, but for the most part, we'll be dying off as that high pressure builds in near 90 in a couple locations on Thursday, but a few more 90s hitting us by Friday and particularly Saturday as that high pressure ridging stays over us. So just a recap, we are looking for a pretty strong atmospheric river system hitting upslope flow mainly for the western central mountains and the Sun Valley Mountains and the Sawtooth, as well as the eastern highlands, which will primarily impact right along the Wyoming border from those mountain areas. And the rest of us will just get some light rain, attempt to up to a half an inch. There is a chance of flooding with the heavy rain over the Sawtooth, western central mountains, and the Galena area, particularly high up on some creeks, maybe some rock slides. Not looking for any main stem river flooding. There looks for half a foot to maybe a foot increase, but staying below any action stages at this point. The Big Wood could get close, but the Salmon River doesn't look to get close to action stage. Breezy to windy today, depending where you are. The windiest where wind advisories are in the Snake Plain, upper and lower Snake Plain, as well as the Arco Desert and ridge tops. We will be cooler than normal, 8 to 12 degrees. And then we start to dry out the rest of the week, Tuesday onward. And the warming trend Tuesday and Wednesday will have some lingering breezy winds in the afternoon, particularly the Snake Plain. And then we get hot and not as windy by the end of the week, hitting in the low 90s for some lower elevations, particularly in our western and southern areas. That concludes the briefing. If you have any questions, give us a call to this number. Thank you.